We never knew what thalassemia was.
There is also confusion about how, or lack of understanding about how you get thalassemia, whether it's inherited or whether it's something that you acquire like an infectious disease.
For a baby to be born with thalassaemia major like I am, what happens is that both parents will be carriers, and there's a 1 in 4 chance with each pregnancy that the baby born will have thalassaemia major. So for example, in my case, my mum was a carrier, my dad was a carrier, but they didn't know about it at the time. And when they were expecting me, I was the major. But in subsequent pregnancies, my sister is just a carrier.
My mum and dad were carriers, and then they had a baby, and that baby was thalassemia. Then they had another baby that was thalassemia. They had another baby that was a carrier, and another baby that was a carrier.
Preconception testing is a good idea. If you look at the Greece Cypriot community, they've been very proactive in knowing their carrier status and having preconception testing, and have virtually eradicated the disease in their community.
In 2007 we decided to get married in Cyprus, as my family originate from there, and when we found out that we needed to have the test done, the thalassemia test done to see whether we were carriers, we had to do this 3 months before, as that is the law, and as thalassemia is prevalent in my family, it was a big relief to find out that myself and Gavin weren't carriers.
So it's really important that young people, before they get married and before they have children, know what their status is. It's just a simple blood test.
Before we got engaged, that's when we decided to have the test on the recommendation of our doctor, and it was a really simple test to have. So it was popping in for sort of 5 minutes. We had a blood test, and then I think I waited like less than a week just to hear back, and it was because I wasn't a carrier. I just got a phone call from my doctor, so it was really sort of a simple procedure, but definitely worth having.
The more important thing is to get tested before you actually get married.
Get married, yeah.
The majority of people in this country find out when they're pregnant. During their booking, they have a blood test done, and that's when they find out, and that's when the husband will be tested. That they become quite devastated because and there's nothing they can really do because they're pregnant. And then the choice they do have is to have prenatal diagnosis, and to find out what the baby is. So it is like quite hard to find out such a late stage. It would be nice to have it done either as part of your registration with GPs when you register, or if you're going to go for contraception, it'll be nice to have it done then.
You should have a test done, yeah. So it works out easier for both couples than, when you know that if you're a carrier or you're not a carrier.
You can get yourself tested, you can get your future prospective partner to be tested as well, so that you know how to go about your life. Then you can have children or not have children.
To get tested is vital.
If you know your status, then you can advise your partner and make the correct decisions. Because at the end of the day, living with a thalassaemic child is still a very painful issue, because you have, in a lot of communities, there's a lot of guilt with a thalassaemic child being born. There's a lot of guilt with having to, set up treatment, the transfusion, the drips and all the rest of it, and the pain that child will go through and through its life. So I advocate that everybody should get tested.
It's really important that people thinking about having a family actually get the screening done, have that blood test done. If both partners are found to be carriers, they can make an informed choice about whether it's right for them and whether they can support that child and actually treat that child as they would any other child. But it's a personal choice, and for me it's about making an informed choice.